It's Madden NFL 24, and we've got a showdown in the AFC South. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. Coming up next.
By many accounts, one of the most underrated home venues in all of the NFL resides in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, and that's where we find ourselves at Nissan Stadium. Today, it's an intra-division matchup in the AFC South, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Tennessee Titans. From up top next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, folks, we were already excited for this game. And then before the contest, you and I are down on the field outside the white lines.
Yes, we were following the rules.
We were following the rules, and a ball comes over our direction, but we can't see it. Somebody yells heads up, and instinctively you turn around and you snare it one-handed with your off left hand. So now we're really ready for football.
No gloves either.
No gloves.
No gloves. Not like what the guys are wearing playing the game now. But wasn't that a whole lot better than that time we were down there? And I got the coffee spilled on me when I got nailed by the punt returner.
That happened to the Vikings, right?
Yes, a much better job of being heads up this time. Thank you for the notice.
The well-traveled Nick Folk has us set for a start, and we are underway here in Nashville. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick of the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school, one of the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field, and can take off and run when under duress.
And this will be a Jaguars first down as he's got this up to the 35-yard line. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw is on target to Duvernay. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
On 2nd down, a run with Etienne. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw it for a loss.
Lawrence on 3rd down. A short throw to Ingram. Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. So now the Titans get their first shot on offense. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
For every rookie prospect, there are always nerves involved in this moment. Running your team out to start a game. But there's a reason they brought him in. We're willing to make him their starter today. They believe he can overcome those nerves and lead his team to a victory. We saw him do it at the collegiate level and really make himself into a leader and someone you can envision doing the exact same thing here in the NFL.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
They go back to Pollard on second down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack. And I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one. But occasionally, the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly. Maybe someone tipped it off. But on that play, it had no chance.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. This is taken at the 18. We'll call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down. Now Lawrence. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Kenneth Murray. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line. That's such a costly interception. Nearly a pick six, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football. That interception almost cost them 6 points. Now their defense has to run onto the field, probably giving the quarterback a few side eyes along the way. They've got to see if they can stop a score.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Tony Pollard, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Titans take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know that sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Folk connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Now Lawrence. His throw incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Lawrence. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Chidobe-Awuzie with a pick. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much up to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they start in the best of all positions, 1st and goal. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. This is caught. A gain of 7 that time, 2nd goal. Pollard will score. Touchdown, Tennessee. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
They're certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
On for the extra point is Folk. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. His interception on that last drive set the other guys up pretty good. They had solid field position. They cashed him with a touchdown. Now he's got to try to get things right here. 1st and 10. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On the counter, Etienne. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Etienne once more. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Jaguars on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try to figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Titans now just about ready to take over. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now Levis. Over the middle, complete. That's Boyd. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Titans. Tony Pollard on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Titans take a 3-touchdown lead. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Extra point up and good by Folk. And that makes the score 21-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Jaguars getting set to go. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence again. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. That's a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Now a 3rd and 6. Lawrence. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
Oh, and that's kind of how it's gone for them so far. That was a ball they need to get back in this game. A quick strike, a big play. but he led his guy too far, and it winds up over his head.
Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. Here's Jackson. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Titan football. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow, and I mean, if they can get points here, Charles. And now off to the races down the right side. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 103 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw, it's Levis. He finds his man, Pollard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Levis. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Levis sets up to throw here. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Levis on 3rd and 1. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. That close on 3rd down, I think everybody probably expecting a run. Instead, they go to the air on 3rd and short yardage.
I realize this is a passing league, and they're liable to throw the ball on any down and distance. But that short, I do question the call. Run the football and pick it up.
They'll run forward with Pollard. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. He's been tough for this defense to handle, over 100 yards. You kind of knew that they were going to him on that play, didn't you?
They certainly did. That's one of those situations where you simply say, my best runner over my best blockers, let's go ahead and pick it up. And I don't care if they know it on the other side. Here we come, and they got it done.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Levis to throw it. And did he get the feet down? Yes, touchdown. Calvin Ridley, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Titans are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
The Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. On first down, Lawrence. On the slant, he's got Davis.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Lawrence will throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
So this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Now Lawrence to throw. Screenplay. Here's Etienne.
There he goes, right side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Lawrence, now this is Etienne on the draw.
Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first.
Here's Lawrence to throw. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Logan Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line.
Offense back out there, and we shine the spotlight on the Memphis man, Tony Pollard.
He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. It was a strong first half for running back Tony Pollard. He's up over 100 yards rushing for the game already, and he scored 3 times as well, as they went to him early and often, and with good reason.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the third quarter gets underway. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Titans getting set to go here to begin the third quarter. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
The end result, 21 yards.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Levis back to throw. Throwing the out route, finding Boyd for the completion. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. Levis looking to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Levis. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll throw it again with Levis. And that will be incomplete as well.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2.
A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
From the gun, it's Lawrence.
That is incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Here's Jackson to return. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Out come the Titans now.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 5. Gonna run again here with Pollard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Here's 3rd and 6. Back to throw here. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I love it. He ran a hitch route on 3rd and 6, and normally that's not deep enough to get your first down. I'd say he really ran a hitch plus to make sure he got the first down yardage. Really intelligent route running.
Yeah, because what do you say? Hitches are normally 1 to 3?
Yeah, somewhere in the neighborhood. You just kind of come off the line of scrimmage and kind of show yourself to the quarterback and say, hey, here I am, present it. He went in and took it far enough downfield to make sure that they had enough yardage to pick up the first down.
And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Levis to throw off play action. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 19. A good pickup there on 20 yards. Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the 4th quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is,
did he get the feed down? Yes! Touchdown! Calvin Ridley, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Titans open the lead up to 34-0. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Folk connects on the extra point, and that makes this 35-0 now.
Jaguars nothing.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
2nd and 10 now. It's Lawrence. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Duvernay in motion. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
And you can tell just by looking at them that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
Here's Logan Cook now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. On the return, Jackson. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and they will take over 1st and 10. Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. Previous series, definitely a focal point. 3 catches, the touchdown grab. As a DB, or former DB, is there a number of catches on a drive you're like, oh, he got the best of? And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Titans. Tony Pollard, 59 yards. And the Titans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. You talk about the dominating rushing performances that you and I have seen together. This has got to be right up there. His 4th touchdown run of the game and another long one to boot.
And I don't need to ask for a witness because you're right here with me. We are watching this, and we're watching such a performance that it's demoralizing for anyone on defense. You know, it starts out coaches screaming, tackle him, get him. And after that last touchdown, I bet it's pure silence on that side of the ball.
Extra point up and good by Folk, and it is 42-0.
Jaguars, nothing.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Jags.
The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, and what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
This is 2nd and 8.
Back now in Nashville. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now we've got a 3rd and 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Offense back out there, and we shine the spotlight on the Memphis man, Tony Pollard. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Option play. Here's Pollard. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 187 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
From the 38 now. Here's 2nd down and 7. Pollard gets it off the option. And not much room to speak of. He'll get about 3 up to the 41.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now Levis. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars 35. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
Parker, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
I like the call there, because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Levis from the gun. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Titans first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game, because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play and the other one obviously not ready at all?
Boy, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed asleep.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Titans are winners here as we say so long from Nashville.